KITV's Denby Fawcett is here now with more. Denby?
Yes, the UH Manoa is suffering from a terrible dorm room shortage. There are 3,000 dorm beds on campus, but already 3,600 students have signed up to request dorm rooms this fall. The bill the governor signed is to speed along replacement of 53-year-old dorms like this one and the renovation of damaged rooms. Grant Teichman from Kauai has boarded at the UH Manoa for 2 years.
In terms of disappointment, I can tell you I've been trapped in an elevator. There's holes in the concrete walls of my building, and some of the rooms have infestation problems, and there hasn't been a lot of money to fix that until now.
Teichman was with other students when the governor signed the bill to allow the UH to float $100 million in revenue bonds for dorm repairs at the UH.
I want it to be clear this is not going to solve the entire problem.
Lingle says she'll push for more money next year. The UH has not built a new dorm on campus since 1978.
So House Bill 19 is a big deal for us. It will allow us to move forward much more aggressively.
UH officials also plan to build more than 2,000 new dorm rooms in the next 10 years. The first project is expected to be done by the fall of 2007. The first phase of dorm reconstruction will begin here at Frear Hall, which will be torn down to make way for hundreds of new dorm rooms. They picked Frear because it's been closed down for almost 6 years, and no students will be displaced by the construction. The developer will determine how many rooms the Frear project will include. UH officials are hoping for a minimum of 800 dorm beds in the first phase. This will be the first time the UH has partnered with a private developer to carry through a dorm project from the design phase to completion. Denby Fawcett, KITV4 News.
All right, thank you.
Identity theft by getting away from using Social Security numbers for a variety of school functions.
But investigative reporter Keoki Kerr found many students still have old IDs with Social Security numbers.
And IDs are very important for you guys to get.
For decades, new UH students were issued ID cards with their Social Security numbers on them. But as of last fall, UH created an 8-digit UH number, which new students are now being issued. But many returning students still have the old ID cards with their Social Security numbers.
I get my ID validated every semester that I attend and pay for my tuition, and they continually just use my same ID card to validate that instead of issuing me a new ID.
Even the UH parking office still requires students' Social Security numbers when people apply for parking passes.
So obviously it's still in the system. It hasn't been fully phased out, and we can clearly see that, students are vulnerable to fraud just as any other person.
UH junior Grant Teichman got a new ID last year only because the picture on his old one rubbed off, and not because of any anti-fraud campaign.
I definitely think it needs to be a higher priority than it appears to be right now.
Anti-fraud efforts took on a new urgency in June when a UH library employee with access to thousands of Social Security numbers was charged with ID theft in another state.
So there are many offices here, and I hope all of the offices here, that really do take this seriously and really are moving forward to ensure that we protect student identity as well as everybody's identity that we're responsible for as an institution.
The campus health clinic still uses Social Security numbers to keep track of the 10,000 to 12,000 students, faculty, and staff who use their services every year. UH officials say the transition away from using students' Social Security numbers should take about 2 years to lessen the chance of identity theft on campuses across the state. Keoki Kerr, KITV4 News.
Parking in downtown Honolulu.
Whether it's broken ceilings or peeling paint on the walls, students and faculty at the University of Hawaii say they've had enough of the poor conditions on the Manoa campus. KCHNL News 8's Darren Pye live in studio to explain. Darren?
Well, Howard, after putting up with rundown facilities for years, today students and faculty at the University of Hawaii pleaded with state lawmakers to do something to improve their school. In some rooms, the lights don't turn on. Some ceilings have moldy tiles. Others are missing tiles altogether.
Money has been taken out of repair and maintenance for many years, and that has resulted in our buildings going down and down and down in quality.
After watching classrooms decay for years, some University of Hawaii students say they're running out of hope for their school.
every year we don't fix them is another year students have to be in substandard classrooms.
When the doors to some buildings don't work, UH administrators say it's not easy to recruit new professors.
We have had to renovate labs for them to do their work in before they would have agreed to come.
This is one of the most important research collections that the university has, but students aren't even allowed in this room to take advantage of this teaching tool. Why is that? Well, one reason, the fire extinguisher system doesn't work. Students and faculty pleaded with state lawmakers for help, who also criticized the condition of the campus.
Windows that were broken, air conditioning that was broken. I mean, it was pretty bad.
Lawmakers say they hope to put more money into campus repairs during the next legislative session. The question is, will it be enough?
And has this report. Gina.
Ron, crime on and near college campuses is essentially underrepresented because of leeway in crime classification, students going directly to police, or victims reluctant to come forward about rape. It's information that's supposed to help students pick a safe college campus. Details about crime at 6,000 schools nationwide. It's required every year by the U.S. Department of Education. But how reliable is that data?
The police department reports under FBI crime stat criteria, and we have other criteria.
According to the University of Hawaii's most recent mandatory filing, there were 4 burglaries and 3 auto thefts in 2004. Honolulu police records for the campus area show 89 burglaries and 34 auto thefts.
Many people just report directly to the police department.
The only way to be absolutely sure that this is the campus that you want to attend is to sit down and read both reports, do the research.
Rape and assault reports are more consistent. UH cites 3 rapes and 4 aggravated assaults, almost exactly the HPD numbers. But island-wide, rapes are almost twice as high. Women's advocates say that doesn't seem quite right.
I would say the rate of rapes on university campuses is about the same as anywhere else outside of campus.
But there are other reasons statistics don't give students a realistic look at campus safety.
If you consider that only 9% of rapes are reported on campus, then it gives you kind of an idea of how severe the problem is.
UH Manoa has been working on more awareness of rape and alcohol abuse. They say expect more incidents reported on the next federal filing.
But that's because of more enforcement. We brought these issues to the fore more during 2005.
Some other colleges reported absolutely no crimes or even drug or alcohol discipline for the entire year. We'll have more on why that is on Hawaii at 6. Gina Mangieri.
Young voters are a big segment of the population, but many will not make it to the polls. Brianne Randall reports on the different political atmospheres at 2 college campuses.
As the final day of voting in this year's primary election nears, every vote counts. That includes college students, but their voices are often not heard on Election Day. To help change that, the Honolulu Community College adopted a Go Vote campaign to get students interested in the election. The campus held a mock primary election to show them how it's done, hosted talk story sessions with candidates, and even registered over 100 students to vote.
We had a lot of young students going in, they're like, Auntie Nai, how come we gotta vote for? You know, we're not going to vote. They said, well, you need to sign up, and I'll give them the entry per okay, fill this up, and you're going to be registered to vote, you know, and they're like, I said, your opinion matters.
For us, the real concern is those people who, during the mock elections, like, they reflected back that, you know, they don't really care about politics, and that's the type of people that we're really trying to reach, so we've got our work cut out for us.
It's a different story at UH Manoa. No campus groups rallied to get students to the polls on Saturday, and very few candidates even made an effort to reach the UH student voters.
At least very little. I did see one booth earlier in the week, but nothing recently.
A huge point of this election was transition, you know, getting in a new generation of leadership in the Senate, and this is the future generation right here. You know, what better place to start?
Some students on campus wanted to vote, but for one reason or another will not make it to the polls.
Well, I'm going to vote eventually, but then not at the moment because I didn't register. I wanted to register, but it kind of slipped my mind.
No. No, I can't. I'm not a resident, so I can't.
Brianne Randall, KHON 2 News.